wait, look what
Yeah, yeah. I got my home Super Bowl, and this is the last time I'm wearing it until the season's over.
shirt.
This is the Sports Timeout Podcast with Jensen Maydew, Tony Caranco, and your host, Wes Underwood.
And welcome into the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Jeffersons, free fried pickle Fridays, and also new wing flavors. Citrus hot honey has got my heart there. Get it every time now. Firecracker's pretty good. I did get that in the off chance there, but yeah, go check them out. There's more there, and if you're done there and go there, get that done, then go check out Robert's Integrative Dentistry in Joplin. If you're looking for a brighter, straighter smile, be sure to schedule your appointment today at 417-622-0404. Wes Underwood, Clint's out. Tony might be joining us soon. Scrub a dub dub right now, I guess, but we'll see. And Jensen's here, and yeah, how's it going?
It's good. Yeah. Everything's great when you have power.
Yeah, AC's on, all that jazz.
I'm wearing sweatpants. It's on so low. So,
Nice.
but yeah,
Nice.
it's good. How are you?
Oh, I'm ready for the weekend. Ready.
I feel that.
Been working this week. Client I have goes to the gym, and when he goes to the gym, they don't have the AC on, and it's like super hot. So I got to do that twice a week where I'm sweating it out while he's working out, and I'm like, I feel you, dude.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, well, before we go ahead and get started, make sure to hit that subscribe and follow button on YouTube. And well, yeah, first up, we talk with Tea Time's very own Jonathan, and he's the owner over there, and we'll talk his journey on seeing his place called Tea Time come to fruition, and yeah, some of the things they have to offer. And well, we'll go ahead and take a look. And I bring in one of Tea Time's owners, Jonathan. How are you,
I'm good. How are you?
man? It's a great place that we're going to be talking about here in Tea Time because already been what twice now, and it's making my days great because at least once a week so far is what I've averaged, so that's not bad, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad people are flocking to it. But yeah, it's been going pretty good. I think we're about 3 weeks in now. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy. And
Yeah.
I mean, 10 months ago, y'all come in, talked your plans on opening up top
hmm
golf like business here in Webb City. Yes, or last week or 3 weeks ago now. Wow, it feels like last week. I'm sorry, but 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago. I mean, what was the moment like for you guys to see that plan come to fruition there?
I felt really good. I can't lie. It was I mean, 4 years of planning and banking and
Yeah,
dealing with everything and everybody, and then finally coming and seeing it all come together is it's really nice. It's we're blessed to really be able to do it. But yeah, to see people in there every day, it's really exciting, and it's going to be really awesome the next couple months, especially once it starts to cool down. Football season gets into season and all that other stuff. So we got some good stuff planned, and we're just ready to execute on it.
it's awesome. That's awesome. And so now that you guys are all open, can you kind of give us your hours of operation? I've heard a few things. I know what's set in stone, but for the average Joe out there, and then can you kind of run down what the facility itself can bring to the people that come? I mean, a few things out front, you got other stuff inside. I'll let you explain it though.
Yeah. So, basic facility overview, we got 19 bays. Those are all equipped with top tracer. Excuse me. And then we also have our four pickleball courts and our turf patio. Those, we have yard games out on that, cornhole, Connect Four, giant Jenga, stuff like that. And then kind of at the center of all that is the 21 by 12-foot LED outdoor display that we have. So we're going to be blasting the football games on there. We're going to have the Olympics on once that starts. I think that starts next week.
Yeah.
So we're going to start rolling with some of those. And broadcasting those. We've had the soccer games on, the Euros on, and
Yeah.
we've had a lot of people come and watch those. So
Awesome.
it's been really awesome. So yeah. What was what were you asking me? I'm sorry, I forgot.
No, just kind of give us your hours of operation there, and then you kind of broke down some of the stuff that you guys have to offer out front. What can we, or well, you also broke down a little bit of inside, but what else can they expect? Like, do you guys have any drink specials, food specials, stuff like that?
We don't have specials right now.
Okay.
We're kind of just waiting and seeing um, how stuff kind of shakes out. We are adding some stuff to our menu. We wanted to kind of make sure the stuff that we did have, the initial stuff, was going to sell. So I think some stuff might be changing,
Yeah.
and we're going to start pushing out a new menu probably at the end of the month, or an
Okay.
updated menu, not a new menu, but lots of shareables.
Yeah.
We also, our hours of operation is 11 a.m. every day, and then Sunday through Thursday we'll close at 10, and then Friday and Saturday we'll close at midnight. So that's
Okay.
been going really well. Fridays and Saturdays, those have been really busy. It's awesome to see every bay full, and then our patio full as well. Every pickleball court, every cornhole lane, um, all the seating. So it's really good. Also got the bar right there, and there's a pass through window that serves the patio. So it's really it's a fun hangout spot, I would think. I think most people enjoy it. So
And I mean, I know that you and I talked a few weeks ago, but pricing here too. I mean, you've got cornhole for free. I see myself coming out there and playing quite often while getting some food items because I'm going to break down some of the food items that I've had already. I mean, I've had the nachos, I've had the mac and cheese bites, so I hope that those are staying because those are fantastic.
oh,
And then
absolutely.
had the iced coffee, I believe, the salted caramel the other day.
Oh yeah,
That one
yeah,
was good. Good job on
yeah,
the espresso there. So
yeah. I
fantastic
get
on
that
that.
every morning.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I
good.
don't blame you. I told
So
my wife the
yeah,
other day, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna probably come in here and grab coffee more often now because it's right here."
that's awesome.
But
So
yeah, what can they expect on that? And do you kind of run down the average prices there?
average prices. I actually got a menu right here on my desk. It's about $13, 13.50 average for all of our stuff. They are bigger portions, and so I
Yeah,
think a lot of people think they're single serve portions, and then they're surprised by how much food they get. So sliders, flatbreads, nachos, wings. There's a lot of like I said, shareable options as well,
yeah,
like pepper or the macaroni bites, mac bites, and then quesadilla, pretzel trio, stuff like that. So it's really it's a spot to come and bring your friends, bring your family, you know, bring your uh, business partners, stuff like that, to where you can come and maybe not grab in all individual meals, but
yeah.
shareables, which is kind of what we're going for.
It's awesome.
And it just makes it more fun at the bay when you have your groups there.
Yeah,
But we have had some individual golfers come in and actually use the facility for practice, which has been nice too.
that's
Lots of
awesome.
mornings. So yeah,
And then another big question for the people here. Been asked myself if you can make reservations yet, if that's going to be a plan in the op or future, and then, or is it just first come first serve basis throughout the rest of the time that you guys are open?
we were first come first serve out the gate. There was a little bit of coordinating that had to take place, and so we kind of held off on the reservation just so we could train our staff how to properly do it. But
Yeah.
we are starting to roll those out now, so we have a set amount of reservations that we're starting with. So if you call up there and ask for a reservation, you should be able to do it unless all the reservations are full at those times. So
Okay. And then you
yeah,
mentioned those later hours on the weekends. I know a lot of people are going to ask because you're going to be doing Chiefs. You've had, I believe you had the All-Star game the other night, and then you had obviously soccer and stuff. Will you be airing any local high school sports at your
we've
bar
talked about
or
yeah we've talked about, so us being there in Webb, we've talked about throwing up the Webb City games Friday nights. So it's definitely in our in the back of our minds
Yeah, there you guys
to
go.
do. So, yeah, we want to be a local supporter, and that's kind of our it's kind of what we want to do is support local.
And
So
then Southern guy yourself too, gonna air some MSSU games there as well.
oh sure, absolutely, basketball, football, college games on Saturdays. So
All right. Well, there you go,
we'll try
guys.
to work some of that stuff in.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Glad to hear it. And I mean, that will definitely bring in some people. But if you haven't yet, get out there and go support these guys. They've rocked it so far. Service has been great. Everything that they have to offer has been great. Food so far has been good. So yeah, get a chance, get over there, see these guys, and anything else you got that I didn't mention, or we good?
I think if you're planning on booking a birthday party or a small event, might just check our website out, playteatime.com, and we got a little tab there. You can input your information,
Well,
and
show up at
love to
11.
have you guys. Yeah, love to have everybody out there. So
Hey, I definitely will be coming by to grab coffee more often. So I'll just sit at the bar drinking coffee, and people are gonna be like, "Who's that guy? He's weird."
you got to do a podcast there sometime.
Hey, yeah, 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 absolutely. But we'll talk to you later, and thanks for coming on, and thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a good night.
Awesome stuff from them. And if you haven't been out there yet, go check them out. It's a great time, great food. They got the full bar there, as he mentioned. And then, like I said, I got that iced coffee, salted caramel. The espresso they put in that was, oh man, so good. But the salted caramel on top with the whipped cream, and it just hit. Like you're out there golfing. It's like blood sugar's getting low, so I gotta get that because it got me re-energized. But I think you'd like it if you came up here.
Yeah, that's definitely what I would order.
Oh man, so good. I told him, I also made a joke with him. I was like, gonna probably be out there at 11 every day grabbing my iced coffee, and then I'll be heading out after that. Sitting, I'd be the guy
Great.
sitting at the bar just drinking iced coffee. Yo, what you got, man? Hey, do it. All right. That out of the way, we'll go ahead and head into the NBA and we'll talk Olympic squad. And I mean, unlike Summer League, the buzz around the team has been great as they win their third tune-up game in a row, 105-79 over Serbia. A couple more games in London to go, but my question is, do they waste all their energy before the Olympics? Because they're out there blowing teams out early right now, trying to make statements. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, okay, these are your tune-up games, and you're out here dropping threes. Like, you still got to travel to Paris. You got London before that, and you got all that. I mean, just traveling and stuff in between. Like, Kevin Durant's sitting there like, I haven't even played yet, and this team's overdoing it. So, are we going to see like Kevin Durant get out there if he even plays? We're going to see him be like energetic, and everybody else is just like, well, jet lag. I don't know. What do you think Team USA is going to do when they get over there? What are your thoughts on that so far? Do you think they should be that into it right now?
Um,
I
I
mean,
can,
yeah, give an effort, but
yeah, I think I can see both sides. I think that honestly, I think they're just out there having fun and getting to play with like people that they've never played with before. So I'm
yeah,
sure that like it's um scoring heavy because of like all of the fun stuff that they get to do. So I'm thinking that that may be more of like why they're blowing out teams versus like, oh, we have to beat them. You know what I mean? I think it's like known that they're better.
yeah,
Um, Now they get to just like do little tricks and whistles.
I guess. I mean, Steph Curry was lights out, 28 points dropped in that game over Serbia, and we'll see. We'll see. I mean, honestly, as an American, I want to see Team USA dominate, but I do have some things in there for Sweden. And then you got the teams that are out there that are like the underdogs, and you actually want to see them do good because they're going to get publicized by the Olympic Committee and all that jazz because they want popular things popping up for them so they can get that moolah that everybody's out there buying the Olympic gear and everybody's tuning in to watch, so the ratings go up and the money comes in. I mean, rightfully so, but yeah, I don't know. It will be weird. time will tell. We'll see how they do, and we'll see how they do. I believe in London is where they're going next. So yeah, London. So we'll see. We'll see. But for the WNBA side, the Olympic squad there, we talked WNBA All-Star game, and well, here's the roster. I mean, the WNBA side, you got Bonner, Boston, Clark, Gray, Ame, Brianna Jones, Jonquil Jones, Kayla McBride. You got Mitchell. Man, these two I knew were gonna mess me up. I can't even pronounce them. Ogumbawe. Know how to do that one?
I
Ogumbow.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but I don't know how to pronounce
I
it.
know who she is too, and I've watched her play, and I don't know how to pronounce it. It always catches me up when I have to read it. And then the other one, Mike or Oumaki, something like that. I don't know. I'm sorry for butchering your names, but I do it on the guy's side too. So don't say that it's just women's sports, please, because I always do my pronunciation check, but I could not find anything on those two. And then Reese to cap that team off. And then on the U.S. side, you got Collier from Missouri native there. And then you got Copper, Chelsea Gray, Griner, Lonskew, Lloyd, Plum, Stewart, Torres, Thomas, Wilson, and Young. I mean, now look, a lot of people didn't care back in 2021 when the WNBA team faced off then in this format, and the WNBA team beat the Olympic team 93-85 in that one was the final. And I mean, that was interesting, but like I've been saying, and I mean, I just first off, do we see that happen again? But I mean, is there going to be a bigger eruption this year because Clark should potentially be on that team? And if the WNBA team wins and Clark is that player that scores like what 30 points and gets through those ladies, like is it going to be okay? This team needs to go because she can clearly dominate on a bigger stage. She's already proven it with the Fever. She's already doing things with the Fever, setting records.
Mhm.
Which she set another one this week. So congratulations to her. Her and Reese are just taking this league by storm. And I mean, they took the NCAA by storm too over the last couple of seasons, just with their rivalry. But now they're bringing it into the WNBA. I mean, you're seeing it everywhere. People are wearing those two jerseys for sure. And then you got Kelsey Plum, few Griner supporters here and there because she's well known down in Texas, and Texas people stick behind their players. And I mean, that's just what they do. But I don't know. What do you think you see here? Do you see the eruption if Clark is the leading scorer and that team wins? Or do you think it's just like, okay, maybe next year?
I think that there'll definitely be multiple headlines if that happens.
I
I can
figured.
I feel like I can already see it now. Um, but honestly too though, I yes, don't get me wrong, one of the best players in women's basketball. Um, but I almost feel like she I think that they are playing on that like it's her first year. I think that if it was her second year, she would be there. So I think that they're just like cautious with her and like they don't want to make a statement. Does that make
Sure.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Well
Like I could
said.
see
I
why.
mean, that I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You heard it here, folks. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Um, I do feel probably like you're going to see a lot of Iowa fans who are like around the United States. They're probably going to sound off
for
because
sure.
Iowa is mainly the one that I've seen on my timeline that I've got a bunch of friends that like graduated there. And it's like, dude, Caitlin Clark isn't on the Olympic team because why? But then I've also seen some slap from LSU. Got a few LSU people on Facebook, and they're like, why isn't Angel Reese on that team? Because Angel Reese is rebounding like crazy right now, like
Yeah.
12, 15 rebounds a game, and she's just sucking that ball to where, like, once it's off the rim, she's got it in her hands. And it's like, okay, yeah, she's pretty good. Like, she's serious. And like watching them over the last couple of years, because obviously it's been a big thing and they've been more televised. I mean, normally I wouldn't be able to see a lot of LSU games, but getting to watch her play for Reese and seeing her rebound capabilities, I knew what the Sky were getting. And Cardoso's doing the same thing. She's scoring. She's
Yeah.
getting 7 to 10 rebounds a game. She's doing her thing. She started off the season injured, and now she's coming into her own. And it's been fun to watch. And a lot of people don't even know these names, but Chicago should be really thrilled in the team that they've got coming up because Kennedy Carter, like, she's doing her thing and she's
Mm.
just out there whomping people. And then you add in another defensive player in Angel Reese, who's no stranger to throwing down some stuff as well on the court. So, I mean, it's been fun to watch, and I would enjoy watching it more often. I wish we could get some stuff here, Southwest Missouri, because there ain't no teams up in Kansas City. There ain't no team up in St. Louis. There isn't a team in Jeff City. There isn't a team in Springfield. Those are the biggest populaces, and they don't have those teams. So bring one down to Joplin. Why not?
That'd be dope. Yeah. I guess I didn't realize, or I just didn't read far enough, um, that Caitlin Clark is the first, like, alternate, like, if a player got hurt. Did you see
Well,
that?
see, they've had two players get hurt. So where is it at?
Fair.
I didn't. I actually knew she was on the alternate list. They did release that a few days ago, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, they've had three players get injured and two are not there. And I said, even in the 3-on-3s, she was an alternate. And I'm like, how is she not on the 3-on-3 squad? Is she that upset at this point where she's like, okay, no, I'm good? Or is her publicist telling her to stay here in the United States? I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely fishy.
Yeah. Something's
But
going on.
we'll see. We'll see. Next up, we'll head into the NCAA and talk the NCAA 25 release. And today is the day I will be playing it. I mean, man, trying it out for the first time. And I mean, what's that? Not until 11. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've already, not even going to lie, while we pre recorded this, I played it for a little bit. Mizzou dominated Arkansas. In 15 minutes, I was up 31-0, so that was nice. A couple interceptions. Yeah, rookie mode for sure right now. Freshman mode is what they've got on there. So, but I'm going to be up in that. If I'm up 31-0, I'm ready to go up to the next level. So I'm ready to keep going. NCAA, first time since I was what, 21? Moved on from the Xbox 360 since then, and haven't played it since Xbox 360. But I mean, are you a gamer? You play? I know Tony said that he might join me a couple, but
No.
no, you should give
Honestly,
it a shot.
whenever you sent that in our group chat that we have between the three of us, I was like, I don't even know why I'm in this group chat at this point. You should just text separately.
there was a there was a lady at the store that was talking about it, and she was in there just getting like Switch games. And she
Mm,
goes, "Yeah, Madden and NCAA, that's divorce material right there." And I go, "What?"
that's funny.
I'm like, if you've got spare time and the kid and the wife are asleep, okay, I can see if you're being like a deadbeat and doing it, but lock
Right.
yourself in a room for 5 days and do that. But no, it's like if you just play it casually, cool. But
But
watch what you're saying.
Some
Uh-huh.
people can't. Some people can't play it casually.
I guess. I guess we won't get Tony's opinion on this one because yeah, he scrub a dub dubbing. So, but yeah, all right. Well, move on from that pretty quick. I'm excited for the game. I know you're not. There's a lot of people that are. And
Yes.
all right, moving into the NFL. What a weird topic I came across, and I'm sure you've read it too. And for those of you that haven't heard it, Jacksonville Jaguars sued a former employee who stole $22 million from the team in Florida State Court Thursday. The Jaguars were suing the man for $66 million in damages. Amit Patel, who oversaw the team's virtual credit card program. Didn't know the team, like, is that players' credit cards or is that the team in general? I've never heard of that position. I'm not going to lie. That
Mhm.
sounds like a made up position as is. So, rightfully so, your money's taken, right? No, I'm just kidding. I mean, yeah, the team's probably got to have someone to look over all that stuff, but didn't sound like the right guy. So, but he ended up pleading guilty in federal court in December, and he stole more than $22 million from the team over a 3.5 year period to pay off gambling debts. Okay. I mean, I guess if you got a gun to your head or someone's threatening you, sure, that's okay. And then fund the life of luxury. Okay, that right there is why he's got to pay the money back. Because if it's gambling debts, he can explain that and then take a lesser sentence. Obviously, he's still going to get tried, right? But I mean, I read the funding of life of luxury on top of that, and then reading further, $20 million he took of that 22 million in just 8 months. So over the course of that 3.5 years, the last 8 months was the 20 million. So that must have come in probably to his gambling debts. I mean, it's interesting because the lawsuit says the team alleged fraudulent misinterpretation, breach of fiduciary duty, and then civil theft. So three different things there. And then the claims are largely based on Patel's admission in federal court. So if he wouldn't have pled guilty, I guess it would be less money. All right. And then Patel's lawyer said he did not immediately respond to this request for comment. But yeah, I don't know. It sounds like they still got a lot more to go. And according to court documents as well, Patel transferred $20 million of the funds to FanDuel. Okay, there's your second mistake. After taking out 20 million over a course of 8 months, then you send it to FanDuel. Okay. And then he had a VIP host. All right. And then 1 million to DraftKings on top of that. So FanDuel and DraftKings. So basically, wasn't he just paying the a lot of money that the team would give to those guys, right? For the picks in the NFL? Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, he high stakes, high volume type guy and a daily fantasy sports player. He racked up big losses and yeah. So you're telling me a guy that works in the NFL can't go down and talk to his players who he probably bet on and said, "Yo, Trevor, can you throw me a couple touchdowns today? How many you think you're going to get, man?" No, that probably would have been super suspicious because, not only is he a bad gambler, but then the team would be like, why are you wanting to know this information? So you did good for 2.5 years, I guess, and then kind of trickled onto the terrible side of that. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this one? Like, I'm flabbergasted, but also like, how did he get that far?
Yeah, yeah. I think that the statistic that you said, like, what was it, 2.5 years, he only took out like 2 million, and
Yeah.
then 8 months. Like, that's insane. Like, I could see maybe the other way around would
Yeah.
make a little more sense. But
Yeah. You start off big and then go little.
yeah, but I think you know, he just should stop handling money altogether because not a good gambler, not a good thief.
Probably.
Like,
Probably.
I don't think you're in the right crowd.
Oh, people these days. I mean, you just can't. I don't know. I don't
20
know.
million in 8 months is insane.
That's just definite like lack of self control. Like, okay, that's over a course of a season though. So I
Yeah,
guess monthly he's putting out how much? I don't know. That's 16 week, 17 week schedule, 20 million. I mean, that's far beyond. That's a little over a million a week, a little under a million a week, somewhere in there.
that's
A little
crazy.
over because 17 week, yeah. Huh. I guess kudos to him for keeping it going over the course of a season and then doing the other stuff over the last couple of years. I mean, I guess he's got that much, but I mean, the
Yeah.
money trail's going to come back to you, dude. Like Don't you watch TV?
Right. He should have just stuck with the 2 million and just be happy that he got that far.
Or be like, hey, I took 2 million out on the card. You guys are gonna find out. So you don't have to pay me for the next couple years for doing this job because there's no telling how much he made on top of that being their advisor or whatever he did there.
Yeah, true.
It's like, I don't know. That's so weird. Bogus story, but I mean, it caught my attention. And why we're just now finding out about it, like, he leaked the story to ESPN was the strange thing because it said that he refused to quote until just recently. So it's like they've been waiting on his word. Like, what a weird way to get a story.
Hey,
Is that where we're at right now? Because the Olympics aren't on yet. And
we need something.
I mean, we're talking about it, but I mean, we don't get paid to talk about it.
True. We're just
Oh,
talking about the stupidity.
yeah. Kudos, ESPN. Kudos. Moving on, we'll go ahead and talk MLB and we'll talk robo umpires in the major league. And they hope to test robot umpires as a part of a challenge system during spring training next year, making an automated ball strike component possible as early as 2026. But the MLB commish said still seems far from committing to that date, saying that on Tuesday that the league has technical issues surrounding the definition of the strike zone that need to be ironed out before it's even tested. And let me talk on that right now because you've got your analytics out there. And this one really grinds my gears because not only do we have the camera, not only do we have multiple angles that we can be shown after a call is made, and they can currently challenge right now in the MLB, and they're allowed to do it and go to the video board and look at that. And that wasn't there for a long time unless if it was like a very controversial call, but now you can be a little bit more lenient on what you're allowed to look at. But here's my thing. Like, you've got all these angles. You've got the speed out there. You've got the infrared sensors over the strike zone, and it does not move because it's further back from the players and stuff. So they've got it jotted down over home plate, and it's lined up to the plate. They get it there before the game starts. They adjust it during innings to make sure it's aligned. They do all that stuff, and then they track it. Now, there is a couple times that I've been watching on the ESPN app wherever I've seen it, and the balls and strikes, it called a strike, and it was all the way over, probably towards the dugout, is where the tracker was, and then stuff like that. Like it's definitely got its flaws, but by now, I feel like if you're gonna put these robots out there to be umpires, they're gonna probably be right behind the catcher, which is where the umpire is.
Hmm.
And they're going to probably have them on the lines to see if it's fair or foul. And all they have to do is just line it up with the white lines on the field. And then they can have the 360 camera angle to where it can catch everything at once. So if the ball hops over the camera, or even better, 360 with the 180, 190, and all that stuff to where it just has like a head of camera lenses and it's just like a ball like this.
Hmm.
And then all the lenses are on top of that. You could see everywhere that you need to see. Stuff like that. Like, I feel like that could be accurate, especially calling plays down the line. And then the fair and foul pole, like, if you really need to, and you have that time to make the challenge, you should be able, with that camera angle, should be able to see where the foul pole is, should be able to zoom in on it. Now, we talk about the foul pole and the use of that. The Royals had a game the other day that it was pretty game changing, and I believe it was against Cleveland, where the home run hit the wire that led to the foul pole because they have that netting out there now, and it hit the wire. But the umpire was so caught up in his call that he called it a home run, and it ended up giving 2 runs in a game that was super close, and that ended up being the deciding factor later because they ended up losing by 2 runs. And like stuff like that, it's where the human error takes over because it's like it's still ultimately the umpire's decision. But if we left that up to a robot and he's going off of analytics and things that are typed in that he is supposed to have programmed or whatever it is, it would have caught that and it would have seen that it hit the thing because the announcers pointed it out. The fans pointed it out because they were all pointing up there saying it hit the line, which is an automatic dead ball in foul territory if it hits that line going to the foul pole. And then it ended up ricocheting up and going back, which was in foul territory as well because you could see it cross behind from another camera angle, cross behind the foul pole. And so I don't know. I think that it's time for umpires to be more accountable if they're going to keep umpires. But I think robo umps should be the way to go. Am I a fan of it 100%? No, because they're still going to have errors like they're pointing out. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Are you a baseball person? Do you care about this?
Um, I have opinions.
Yeah. All right, go
Um,
for it.
I
What are your
feel
thoughts
like
on this?
if they are between every inning, like fixing all of the cameras, what happens if like a foul ball comes really fast and like hits this robot? Like,
Yeah.
do we have backups? Like, what happens?
Yeah.
Um, Even with like maybe like something weird happens and like the catcher like bumps the robot, like does that throw everything off? Like, I feel like there's a lot of things that if it's gonna be like in that live play area that
Sure.
needs to get figured out.
Yeah.
So, but I
It
think
should.
it's cool. I think it's really cool, and I think that once again, like, we're human, we all make errors, like you said. So I think that it could like change the game.
Yeah.
Uh,
I want to see what the statistics are from the minor leagues because this is where they've tried it out and it's in the AAA ballparks. Back in 2023 is when they started it, and half the games would be used by the ABS system, and that would be the umpire there. And so, I mean, that'd be kind of interesting. Like you're standing in the park and not knowing that this is going on. It's like, where'd all the umpires go? Like they just started using the robots and didn't tell anybody. That would have been funny to watch. But yeah, I don't know. Like I want to see the statistics from the AAA league and see what is going on there. If they've been in use since 2023 cuz that's almost a full year of baseball that they've been there. And then some spring trainings they've used it too. So I want to see the analytics that they did because I want to see personally not hear it from Rob Manfred because a lot of people are upset with him and he doesn't agree with a lot of stuff in baseball that the players want and need. So we'll see where that goes. It's kind of like Roger Goodell in the NFL. Not very many people get along with him. But yeah, so next up in the MLB, we'll go ahead and talk Royals. And we'll talk the second half of the season. They are still sitting pretty at the moment. They just need to add, in my opinion, a third baseman who can hit the ball or just slug it. Like hit well or just knock in bombs. Gotta be one of those two. Can't be a guy that just plays the base. Can't be. And maybe one more relief pitcher before the deadline on July 30th. We'll get more into depth on that next week. But yeah, man, All-Star game was okay. And then Bobby made the finals in the home run derby, fell short by literally inches, hit the bottom of the wall, and it hit the end of the ballpark. If it would have gone up and over, it would have been a home run. But instead, it just hit the wall and went down to the ground. So kudos to him being the first Royals player in history to make it past round one and make it to the final. But great to see. So I know not everyone here liked baseball, but that was mainly for Tony. But yeah, food for thought, right? And then yeah, so speaking of food, the Royals mascot posted late yesterday, and it's going to be about a new food item coming to the park this season. For the rest of the season. So I don't know how long it's actually going to be there, but that's what he posted. And so here it is. We'll bring up the image here in just a second. And it's a hot dog wrapped in a cheeseburger quesadilla with barbecue brisket, French fries, lettuce, onions, sriracha Cracker Jacks, which that right there I need to try in itself because I love Cracker Jacks and I love hot sauce, and I feel like that'd be a good sweet spicy combination.
Yeah.
And then yeah, 816 barbecue sauce. Would you try that?
I mean, I would try it just to say that I tried it. Would I
Okay.
like it? You know, who knows? Probably not. I feel like there's a lot going on,
Hey,
but
Flavor Town, as Guy Fieri says.
I just think it's funny, like the cheeseburger quesadilla. Like interesting like choice. I feel like. No? You don't think
No,
it's weird that they put a cheeseburger in a quesadilla?
I've had cheeseburger quesadilla. That's pretty bomb. It's fire.
Feels weird.
Oh no. Hey, you get poor and you can only afford tortillas instead of buns. I mean, buns are affordable now, but back in the day they weren't. It was the opposite.
Mhm.
I grew up on cheeseburger quesadillas
Okay. I'll
and
take it.
add a little bit of barbecue sauce to the top of that. Yeah, now we're
So
talking.
you're gonna try it next time you go then?
I am going Monday, as a matter of fact. So right around the corner. Yeah, if I can find it, I'm trying it, and I
Yeah.
will document that moment.
Give it to all the fans.
So while we're here, stadium food. What do you got? What Give me your top two that you've eaten and where they're from.
I think hands down, the best food was at a White Sox game.
Okay,
Yeah.
I could
And
see that.
I'm always a sucker for the helmet nachos.
Yeah,
It just tastes different out of the
bang for
helmet.
your buck. Yeah,
And then also, like, I know that this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm a Dippin' Dots girl, so
okay.
I'm definitely getting those anytime I go to a sporting event.
I know we've talked about this. You've been to Kaufman, right?
Yeah,
Have you done the Belfonte ice cream out there?
no,
No. Have you eaten their Dippin' Dots?
I'm sure I did. It's literally what I do every day, every game,
Every
every
day.
day.
Every day is a problem. Okay. Nachos respect, Dippin' Dots respect. Not trying Belfonte, being a Kansas City native, like being able to go to games and be in that vicinity because you were up in that Kansas area for a while. Oh,
All right, I'll put it on my list. Dang, I wish we would have talked about this. I was just in Kansas City this past weekend.
I know.
Missed
Too bad the
opportunity.
All-Star game was there or was in Texas. Hmm. Okay.
What is your go-to game food?
So at Kaufman, I'll go Kaufman and then another ballpark. I've only been to a few different ballparks. Have not been to Busch Stadium yet. Got to be on my bucket list there. I've been to the Phillies. I will say I was not a fan of the Philly cheesesteak at the Phillies game.
That's crazy.
Everybody told us to go out there, and in Philly, they only like the cheese. They don't do the spray cheese out there. They don't do any of that. So I wasn't a fan of just provolone. No
Mm.
thanks. No thanks. Overall the meat tasted good, but with that cheese added on, like I couldn't eat it. I was done. And then it
Yeah.
rained on it, so it got all soggy. So that may have been
Uh,
some of the issue.
yeah.
At the Royals, though, the right field nachos at the rivals have all, and they've never let me down. That'd be number one. Texas Rangers game, the all you can eat buffet out in right field in the bleachers.
Mm.
Um, Hot dogs, nacho cheese, like just normal stuff. Nacho bar, nacho cheese, hot dogs, Brisket, all that stuff was on the bar. We got to go in and just pick what we wanted. Um, I I really we went with our church. I don't know how they afforded that because I think it was $30 a ticket, and we had like 50 people on that trip. So kudos to them. I don't know if we got a group rate or whatever, but that's how I got to go to my first Texas game. And that was the World Series year because I ended up going back down 3 months later when they were in the World Series and got to hear that from outside the stadium. We did not go in because those tickets were definitely not being paid for by the church. So, but yeah, those two for sure. Just yeah, don't go to Philly and I don't care if Philly fans hear that. Like that cheesesteak sucked, man. Like gotta go with the whiz. You just can't do provolone. No.
I feel the opposite. I feel like I would only want provolone.
Hmm. And
Sorry.
that's not a Missouri thing. Like that's the two options up there. You have the spray can, which is highly liked by a lot of the fans, or you have the fans that were in that spot and they're just like, "Oh, you gotta try this out here. It's got the provolone." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot. It looks like a Philly cheese. I mean, I would prefer pepper jack over provolone,
That would be fire.
but Kauffman Stadium does have a pepper jack Philly. It is good. That's probably third on my list. That's probably the best one I've had because they melted it down to where it became like liquid cheese, kind of like the Whiz. They put it on the burner and then they put it on meat. And that's the other thing in the Philly stadium. Like they put it on the bread and then they toasted it and it didn't like melt into the meat or anything. So that, and I, by the time I got to it, it was cold. So again, it may just be the experience. It may not be the actual taste of it, like out there sitting down and eating it. We were kind of in a rush to get back to our seats and watch the game, but had to catch the flying Hawaiian out there. But yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right.
Chiefs like sports football venue for sure. Chiefs have barbecue. Their barbecue's good. That's probably fifth on my list of stadium food. So, but those two for sure. You gotta can't ever unless they just do a terrible job with the nachos. Can't ever go wrong with those.
So good.
But yeah. So that ends that. On that note, tomorrow we will be bringing in another interviewer. Yeah, semi-pro soccer is back in Joplin after the departure in 2017, and you can catch that special edition this Saturday. So tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. I'm not really quite certain when it's going to come out yet, but it will be tomorrow. Really excited for that interview. Really excited to see soccer come back to Joplin in a somewhat pro capacity. So haven't seen that here in a while. I know Southern soccer team has struggled over the last few years, and hopefully this will kind of impact Southern in that nature. So we'll see. And then, yeah, tune into that, and we'll keep you up to date on that team coming in. Again, first time since 2017 that we've had a semi-pro team here. So fun fact. And on that, we'll head to the local sports update brought to you by Trackside Burgers. They're open at 1515 West 10th Street. Go get some barbecue this weekend, today, tomorrow. Won't regret it. Guarantee it. But yeah, in local news, former MSSU, KU, and Boise State player Cam Martin will be joining the Milwaukee Bucks G League. So huge news for this area. Huge news for Moso. Very deserving for you, big dog. Appreciate everything that you gave here at Missouri Southern. You and your brother did a lot for the community. And I mean, it's sad to see y'all go to where you went. I mean, I would have loved to see you at Mizzou, but opportunities took you guys elsewhere. And yeah, good luck. And Cam, keep it up, man. Keep doing it. Loved having you on the pod. Hope to have you on in the future. Alex, you do your thing at Boise. Appreciate it, man. You were awesome here to watch it. Webb City too. So, and on that note, we go ahead and head into the 2-minute warning brought to you by Ghetto Tacos. On Fridays, get 10% off burritos all day long. So today, all day until they close at 5 p.m. And they are located at 5 36 Northeast Street, Webb City, Missouri. Drive-through is available, and 417-717-1261. They will be open tomorrow as well, 11 to 8 p.m. And stop by, get one of these some tumblers here. Yeah, Outlaws baseball return. This would be good to take to an Outlaws game, kind of Outlaws colors and 4th of July and July in general. And yeah, go get one of these and get a free drink while you're at it too. So yeah, can't beat that up on these hot days that we've had. Actually, yesterday was super nice, but it's supposed to get warm again here in the next couple of days. So darn. But yeah, Outlaws baseball. They're here. They returned home Wednesday, and they're here for an 8-game homestand. They'll play Texarkana through Sunday, and on Tuesday through Thursday, they will take on the Shadowcats. So, yeah, music's here. So it's the end of another episode. For Tony, Jensen, Clint, and myself, have a great weekend. Make sure you go get some of those tacos from Ghetto Taco. Get over to Tea Time. Love that interview that we had. Get on over there. Go have fun. I mean, you have until midnight, guys. Like, that's unheard of around here. That's well past curfew if you're in this area. But yeah, go out, have fun with your kids, have fun with the family. Go check them out. Oh, what's going down in H-Town right now? You back?
Yes, but I heard today that there's still like 29,000 people without power.
Man, that's better than a million.
True, but I'm still thankful I'm not one of those 29,000.
You're not a sponsor, but this is what I'm doing. So, so yeah, I mean, you can get out and about and access things.
Yes.
For the most part.
For the most part, yeah. For the most part. So.
Still power lines down.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
We still have a few down here too, and ours was just wind. I like you guys have flooding. You had all this jazz, and we get wind, and it just takes down 1 or 2, and then the whole city's without it. Like I don't know. I think I told you all this last week, and it came up in the interview today with Jonathan. Like the power went out just randomly, and the whole city of Webb City was dark when I got back home, and I'm just like, so I can't imagine being down there. So.
But we're good. We're good.
Good.
I actually work Saturday, so Sunday I plan on doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely been a long work week, that's for sure. And then you got a little vacation there, so that's nice. That's nice. And then Monday, get to go to baseball. I'm gonna be going to the Royals game, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And get those nachos.
I cannot wait to hear your review from the new food item.
I hope we don't have any events on our way home again this time, because every time I go to KC so far, we've come back and got hit by a car almost, and drove through monsoons, and then that other weekend we had the power outage when I got back. So it's just like, okay, cool. What entails this time? So I'm sure there'll be a fun story. Yeah. We are supposed to have some weather up here this weekend, so
there you go. There it is.
Yeah. But on that note, you guys take care. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week on the Sports Timeout.